Whoop. Hey there, guys. As one might say, hello there, my nerd amigos. Welcome back. There's a lot of dust and crap accumulation on the desk lately, but that just happens when you have like a really matte black IKEA table. Shit just stands out on it. It's kind of like, I guess a glossier finish would actually be more tolerant, but I like the matte finish, but it's still bleh. Hey there, Fritz. Lurk. It's okay. You home already? Shorter day today, or? Well, okay. It's... Wait, what? Oh. That was weird. Age of Empires all over the place. Okay. Gonna close those. Gonna close that. Gonna switch to this. We're gonna jump straight into the Tyranny game and be a tyrant. Bam, bam. Today's one of those tiring days when you feel like Deckard Cain. Relax, stay a while, and listen. Well, there's not much I want to do. Okay. Let's see. So, never free. Barak is no longer blessed. Blah, blah, blah. Lantry stashed. Voices of Narat. Final Judgment. Okay. Let's go to Secluded Forge. And let's see what we can do for our friend Barak over here before I spend all my resources on his armor. Hello, Fatebinder. I didn't really expect to see you again. I'll take more than a few Archon-led armies to do me in. Did you think I was dead? What? Of course not. I mean, maybe a little. Things happen in war, right? You bested the Archon of War. That's an incredible feat. A legendary feat. Provided the Overlord doesn't rewrite the telling of it. I suspect I know why you're here. Getting him out of the armor is no simple feat. It's a part of him now. Fused into his muscle and skin. Anything that gets him out of it, well, they'll be aching to peeling him like a potato. The outside will come off, sure, but it's going to take some of the good stuff with it. Ugh. I've given it some thought, and I have a possible solution. I don't think you're going to care for it, though. Or who knows, maybe it'll be your kind of thing. Thoughts, Barak? Barak remained silent. I wonder if the metal has already protruded into the brain. I'm listening. Without Ash's protection, Barrack stands very little chance of surviving the removal of his armor. That said, I know of a ritual to ease the process. It requires a component which has much sympathetically in common with the individual as the armor. In a word, blood. Because of the iron in it? Precisely, very good, Fatebinder. What was the purpose of this rite? Go on. Unfortunately, given the connection of the alloy with the Overlord's Edicts of Storm, the blood will need to come from a ruler, royal blood, enough to fill a tub, and what with Kairos' forces reaping the tears of their rulers, it's a component in short supplies. Will Archon blood serve? Perhaps, in the case of Graven Ash or Tunon, given that Archon blood might have any number of other unknown properties, I'd be very, very hesitant to use it. Darkest Ari had noble blood, didn't she? If we can find her, a wise woman would have fled as far from Vendrian's well as her treacherous feet would carry her. Though, were she wise, she'd never have taken up arms against the Overlord in the first place. If you can find her, and if she shares blood with the Royal House of Apex, that would work. A lot of ifs, though. What of the statue of Queen Lycarius at Edgering? How many gallons of her blood does she cry in a day? Ooh, that's cool. That's not a bad idea. Would it work? I'm well familiar with the statue, and the sages wanted to pry it into it, but the Vendrian guard wouldn't let them anywhere near, save for those who fought in their ranks. Is it the bloody tears of a dead queen? A portent of the blood to be spilled in defense of Apex? Improbably mineral-rich water, given that the waters turned red when Kairos' forces invaded. There's likely a metaphysical, if tenuous, tie to the Overlord. It should work perfectly. If you can haul a barrel of that stuff out here, I should be able to release Barry from his cage, probably. Oh, this should be good. Let's go, my little soldiers. The place we all started in. Right. Let me see. Did I take this first time I was here? Because I can't remember.
Sorry, I can't.
Oh, it is not possible anymore. Chat, he said sorry. Ooh, the Bane. What's the Bane doing here? This is very awkward.
See that? I'm not jab's entirely useless.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass.
Boom, boom, boom.
Teach an old dog new tricks. On it. I got it.
That's how it's fucking done.
Oh, that's how it's fucking done, she said. Okay, there's that thing. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. It's almost as if I haven't looted this place at all.
It's a battle. That's how it's done. Attack here. Will do.
Okay, wait a goddamn minute. You do that. You do that. You do that. Wow.
On your command. Good work.
Trying all my tricks. Also, you got something new here. This is new. Let's put that there. And I'm gonna use this.
I'll be filling that one for a bit. Fall before me! Pay attention, kids. You might
Ooh.
learn something.
Was a little bit
Take that.
tough. We almost lost Lantry at that point, but now we're good. I mean, if only the Umbral Malice. Okay.
That's how it's done.
Oh, small scarlet chorus and disfavored. I'm guessing you can't really do everything. Okay, that's the blood thing. Oh, what's this? Huh, surprising it.
What have we here?
Nice. I didn't remember if I did that. I knew I didn't get something. I can take this right now. Barrack bridge. Barrack toss. Leap the gap. Return the blood to the smith. Still wanna look around here, cause there's still a little bit of something around here. So we might end up, not necessarily, but we might end up having at least another fight, maybe. which in layman terms translates into a little bit of experience. Oh. Hello.
Can't do that.
You see that?
Wait, that's it? That was it?
Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
Okay. At least it wasn't a complete waste of time. Not a complete, but a little bit. Also, Lantry leveled up. I think we're now still doing your will or whatever, which is okay. Let's do the healing things. We're gonna be soon here to the gift of moments. Quill thing is whatever. This is only for thrown weapons, so critical hits with thrown weapons, graze with thrown weapons, to range damage, only thrown weapons. So everything is thrown weapons. I need nothing from there. Return the blood. Okay, I can do that. Secluded forge. Let's go. You catch a hint of movement in the distance. Investigate further. Adobe homes? Cracked by the Overlord's Edict of Stone and bleached by the sun, rest in loose, blah blah blah. Investigate further. You move quietly near one of the buildings. Investigate further. People within the squat building seem wholly unaware of you, their attention entirely on a shrine of collected azurlith shards that dominates the far corner. The lines of light on their skin seem to trace. Okay. The people chant quietly, invoking Cairn, the fallen Archon of Stone. Speak to them. You step into the open hail. Okay. Cacophony is just to the east of here. Gather your things. No. What are you doing out here? One of the villagers, a lanky man with stringy hair, steps forward. He notices that his skin seems dry and dusty, cracked in some places like the parchment of the stone sea. His eyes simmer. We commune with the man of the mountain. He grants us his boons and protects us from the cruelties of this place. He shall come to us in time to save us from the Overlord's tyrannical joke. Whether or not Cairn could help you aside, you know that this superstitious idolatry is wordly illegal, right? How many rings to purchase those crystals from you? We would never sell the gifts of the man of the mountain. No amount of rings would convince us. Whether or not Cairn could help you, this is illegal, so to say. We care not for the laws of the foreign invaders. And they didn't really piss me off, they just... Yeah, if the Scarlet find you here, it won't go well for you. The man in the mountain shall protect us. Already he grants us his favor. Bye. Not gonna kill them. Fuck it. Let them be. Hello. I brought blood. Welcome back, Archon. I do believe I SP a barrel of Queen's blood. Alright, Barrack. Into the wet. Struggling over to the basin, Barrack places a hand on its lip. He flops heavily into the vat without a word and lies there motionless. Here goes everything. Lysithea mutters and traces a series of luminescent sigils on the air as she circles the tub. The vat begins to bubble, and metal grinds against metal as Barrack releases a prolonged hiss. Take Barrack's hand. The shard comes free with bloody strands of flesh dangling from it. Give him a leather strip. Chew on this, soldier. He takes the leather with ease familiarity and shoves it between his teeth. He gives you a curt nod of appreciation. Foam-crested red liquids sluiceless between the gaps in Barrack's armor, darkening as the grim... Okay. He shudders, his left gauntlet clamped tight over the space left by one of Lysithea's past excisions. Chanting, the smith places a chisel to the side of Barrack's helm and knocks on it 3 times with a hammer. Each blow resounds more loudly than the last, and the third is accompanied with a sound like a blade slicing into armor. She places both hands on the metal spine, crowning Barrack's head, and begins to pull. He screams. Oh! Well, he's naked. The procedure finally reaches its conclusion, and Lysithea slumps against the wall, her tangled and sweat-soaked hands and face red with gore. She releases a long, shuddering sigh. The energy in the room slowly dissipates. Holy shit, look at him. You okay, Barrack? His eyes flicker up to you. Brows knitting into skulls, lips twisting into a grimace.
The dishonor of our actions has hollowed me, Archon. I may never be unsullied again.
Welcome back to the life of the free, walking pile of... I'll have to dream up some new names for you, won't I? Anyway, put some pants on. I'm tired of looking at your... everything.
Everything.
Now I can actually draft your official portrait for the Chronicle. You have no idea how much this omission has haunted me.
I hate to cut this short, but I'm dead on my feet, and there's one last thing we need to settle. I'm keeping the alloy we put off him. In exchange, I took the liberty of forging the sample you brought me before into an axe. I hope it's worthy of you. Sure, thank you. It was my honor, Archon. I'd wish you safe journeys if I thought it would do any good, so try to stay alive out there. Oh, look at him. Wow. He's got nothing. So she gave us this Edict's Crescent. Ooh. Echoes of the Storm. This is interesting. I already got two. I guess for now. Okay. He has a red eye and a blue eye? That's interesting. Let's see, what do we have to give you? We can give you iron boots. We got this Scarlet Chorus leather armor. Look at him. And we got... This thing has Sigil of Life. I'll give you that. And I guess I'll give you this. Well, we did something to Barrack, that's for sure. Let's see, I got this new thing. We need to talk with him. Yeah, okay. What was that? What was that? Mountain Spire. Staff of Cairn complete. Let's talk to him. The former Stone Shield stares muttily at his heavy hands. Mangly hair hangs over his face and grim coats every visible inch of him.
Fate but Archon?
You planning on cleaning yourself up at some point? Feeling any better?
Yes. The pain has faded significantly. The memory of it, however. I suspect that shall remain with me until I draw my last breath.
Yeah.
The great general is dead. The disfavored broken. Everything I have valued in my life lost. And in return, what has the world gained? A stone shield who can choose to lay down his armor? And yet, there is little default in your methods. I marched by your side, and while I may not have agreed with your every decision, I cannot say I would have made them differently.
If anything else, I owe you my freedom.
I would have thought, though, that I would feel different.
something bothering you?
Perhaps. I am not well practiced in holding a mirror to my concerns. Perhaps you will find this ridiculous or ungrateful, but I had accustomed myself to my armor. It became a part of me, and not merely physically. Now I will again have to adjust.
Do you feel as if you're no longer special?
Special? No, of course not. At least, I do not think so.
I'm glad to have you here, Barrett.
Let us continue.
Okay. Is this my forge? I forgot. I think so. I believe so. Have you completed forging? There we go. Karen's potency. Take that. I want to forge something. I'm gonna do the commander's plate, which has the redeploy. Bane ward? This is a shield. Oh yeah. I don't have... What? Wait, what? Fine, then we'll do the shield. This is weird. Does this guy have... No. No. Okay. Let's see now. Barrack. Are these better? No, they're the same thing. Okay. Cool, I guess. Dun 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 dun. Aurora spine. This is the something. Okay, that's a lot of crap. Take all of that. These guys don't have gold or something like that, right? They got only potions. Okay, I guess I can. I guess I can do something. You. It would be nice if they would show like a specific thing for people that sell stuff and people that train you. Would be fucking cool, if you know what I mean. But apparently not. Apparently not. Putting all of these there, but still have a ton of stuff here. What's this? Learn. Good. Oh. Armor penetration. Okay. We got more spells. So I can do one of these. Sleep bleeding. This gives us recovery. Okay. Let's do bleeding. And there's a duration. That's the recovery. And that's the range. Sign over there. Nice. Do we have anything else for healing? No, I think I have all of these. Illusion? Mischievous mass. Let's try force. Okay. Ooh. Bleeding, root and dazed. Sure, let's do that one. Do that. Do that. That. And I guess that. Sign, Lantry, you got a lot of crap right now. Just for funsies, I guess. This is not the library, so let's go to the library. Maybe there I can find some things. Let's go to the other spire fast. I don't know how long the game still is. What's the status of your research? Allow me to show you what my findings are. Sigil of Focus Rain. Nice. Where is it? nice. So if I would do this, no, this, no. Okay. Updating all of my spells as much as I can. Oh boy. Oh. Armor penetration is not bad. Okay, we've updated a couple of things. Let's see what else. I forgot, most of these guys are trainers. Okay. You have a lot of scrolls. Staffs, I don't care about. Okay. Guess I can do that. Do we have some crap? I mean, I do have crap. A lot of it. A lot of it. Ho ho. We do know a lot of crap now. What did this puppet have? Okay, nothing. And then we have the Ocean Spire. That's the last of my spires. he got some hides for me. These guys seriously only have that, right? Only trainers? Yes. Okay, let's see. Wait. Wasn't this the guy that can figure something out for me? Wasn't this the library? Ah. There we go. Artifact, item, drug, edict. Repathy, dagger plants, artifact, conduct research to find recipes for new items. Let's try one of those. And now I can actually go to where Lantry wanted me to go. Lantry's hideout. I'd almost forgotten the good smell. Like the cool, crisp scent contrasts sharply with the sour stench of filth. Subtly suggests that Beric bathe. When Beric seems content doing only the former, you force your way closer to him and know that it's just be nice of him to free of his armor and able to once again take care of some basic grooming. Yes, a clean shave, you say. So many things are better clean. He nods along, stating that yes, one could hardly imagine how incredible a clean shave feels after being denied one for years. Wait. Okay, order him. You call for a break. His reek has begun to hamper morale. Of course, Argon, as you will it. Joyful. We made him shave. I kind of feel bad for him. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Oh, wow. Who are you guys? About time. Do you realize how difficult it is to get your gang to just sit in ambush and wait without a daily rut or tussle? This motley is a stubborn bunch. Alright, princess. You owe me a debt of blood. You come in scarlet, whining about past debts. I owe you nothing, and now you're trespassing in the only corner of Tyranny I call my home. Kindly shuffle off, lest things get ugly. Should I ask how you two know each other? I assume this fool died in a war, but the worst of humanity does seem to have a way of finding refuge in the chorus. The voices of Narad believes you've outlived your usefulness. I will take great joy in snapping your old bones. No.
Come at me.
So, you're gonna do one of these. You're gonna do one of those. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this.
Won't happen.
Sweet, merciful Kairos, not again!
Is it working? Do that. Let's do an Arctic ground. No, wait, let's do this. Yeah.
I will aid you.
Harsh words would cause more harm than this useless weapon. Take
On it.
Is that guy bugged or did we do something?
harsh words would cause sweet, merciful Kairos, not again!
Yeah, I think that thing got bugged. Or is that my copy? Oh yeah, that is. That's the copy of me. It's my skill. Sweet, merciful Kairos. Sweet, merciful Kairos. Let's go inside. These buckets each contain some sort of bush or shrub. Writing.
Curse my negligence. I was going to make ink from the prime bird watching from that desk. When you're older, you'll start liking boring things too.
Okay. I assure you, I have a system for that. Oh. After a few minutes of searching, Lantry grabs hold of a dusty tome with a triumphant smile. Thank Kairos, it's still here. I'll only be a moment. An hour passes as Lantry flips through the pages of his book. Is that right? Oh, I did that wrong. Let's try that again with less stupid. Find anything? I forgot we did the code backwards. Word, paragraph, page instead of page, paragraph, word. This is dreadfully embarrassing. Bear with me. Okay. Apologies, I'm slow, but I'm cute. I'll get this figured out shortly, trust me. I'm slow, but I'm cute. 2 hours pass and still Lantry has yet to finish his work. Find anything? Well, I've discovered this is a dreadfully slow way to communicate long sentences. It won't be much longer, I promise. Hurry up. And this is funny. I'm sure you were wondering which would happen first, me finishing this task or dying of old age. I'm pleased to report it's the former. What did you find? Well, I have a set of instructions that will take me nowhere near any village or town I can think of, and that sounds like an ideal place to hide things. Any idea what's hidden there? Not exactly. The obvious answer is something salvaged from the citadel, but I can't say for certain. This is telling me where, not what or why. So are we done here? Indeed we are. Thank you for your patience. Indigo fields. The directions have us looking for a field of indigo. I couldn't tell you the name of the nearest town or village, but the message includes enough landmarks that I can probably get us there. Okay, let's go. Ooh, what is this? Iron sabots. Iron sabots. Do I want him to have the boots or the sabots? Yeah, boots. Boots is good. Alright, partner, let's get a moving. Let's get a moving. Okay. Indigo fields. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Sorry, I can't.
It's not a huge place. Examine the bush.
Kairos be praised, we found it!
What? I thought we were looking for another chronicle stash. Eyes the berry bush.
I don't recall specifying as such, but I see why you may have thought that. Only need a moment. This won't be like last time, where a moment means half a day. If my understanding is correct, these berries only need a little alcohol to make them absorb into the skin and cause you to bleed.
Cause what? A blue-stained hand reaches out and touches you by the wrist. A searing burn upon the surface of your skin quickly turns into spreading blissful warmth. Though his mouth moves to form words, nothing reaches your ears. The world begins to tremble as your breath expands to fill the whole of your body with vigor. Oh boy.
Oh, this takes me back.
That's the voices. A calm and tranquil haze creeps in unhinging your muscles from your mind. For 8 days, the Archon of Shadows would lurk from the dark, jabbing your posture back into right order at first sign of a slouch. As the berries dissolve your motor control, the muscle memories of those 8 miserable days rush into the fill the void. Moments of the past come briefly into view. At first, the figure of Tunon takes shape, followed by faces from your childhood, until memories of recent years flood your mind eye. While the face comes and goes, one figure emerges from the noise, unwilling to dissipate into the fog of the past. Remain calm.
Then we have a deal. You'll receive further instructions by way of missive. We will use a plethora of names when writing to you, but you will know us by our seal.
The form of the voices of Narat, Archon of Sixes, congreals from the vision, flipping his scepter. You hear the voices in your head. All of the people in Taradas, you dream of us. Oh, Archon, you flatter us so. It's almost a shame the Overlord insists we play this game of murder and dominance amongst us Archons, but such things were inevitable since long before this war. His attention seems directed at Lantry, who appears for younger than you ever remember seeing him, though his white feature and wrinkles momentarily flash in and out of view.
5 parts water, 2 parts red grape juice, 1 part ash. I'm still not convinced I can play the part. Considering how insular the school is, I don't see how any will trust me.
Remain calm.
Oh, they will suspect you. And when that time comes, we will make sure our other sage is discovered. You will point the finger at him. Your dedication to rooting out trouble will be hailed by all. We have a contingency for most everything. Relax.
Okay, the voices turns its head until one face is squarely looking at you, the other at Lantry. The Archon emits a hearty chuckle as it juggles its scepter.
Wait, you already have someone there. How do I meet up with this person?
What did we tell you? Your first objective is to blend into the school. Besides, if our other sage is discovered and you're close, we lose you both. You have so much to learn about this craft.
Remain calm.
You are right. We have much to learn. And all will be forgiven.
Finally, you understand. Learning is quite literally all we need of you. At least for the time being. Watch, listen, report. Not so hard, right? And to answer your question, yes, all will be forgiven.
Okay. All will be forgiven. These were the words Cairo spoke to us oh so long ago, back when we were I. Resist or serve. They are 2 sides to the same role.
But we need to hear you say it. Do we have a deal?
Yes, my answer is yes.
We're going to have a beautiful future. Serve well.
I like this guy's
and you
voice.
just might be a part of it.
Spin slowly. Each time its face passes you, the expression of the mask becomes more and more twisted and taut, until at last its features are no longer a face. What the hell, man? By now, I ought to have learned to grab a bucket before doing things like this. The vision of Narat fades into a swirl of flame, your surrounding ripple, distorted by the heat of a blinding summer day that seems barely tepid to your touch. A few figures emerge from the fire. chiasmus. And it will be the third time I turn you down. Even the youngest scribe learns that repeating a thing does not make it more true. Then what of my plan for a second archive? Pretend I'm wrong. Pretend Kairos isn't coming. A second vault would be rings well spent considering the school of tides and well... Our defenses rival that of even Sentinel stand keep. Yet, you would waste our efforts building for the day they fail. My dear Lantry, stick to your chronicles. Your job is to record our decisions, not to decide what the record will be. You know, I hate it when you talk like that. Even the most adult scribe learns that covering your ears and doubting a fact doesn't make it go away. If we surrender before war breaks out, we have a chance to... The enemy needed muster a single battalion, and you've ready to give up. The very dumbest thing we can do is let the Overlord's reputation undo us without a fight. So long as I am in charge, we will not cower. Then you lead us into ruin. Sage redundant sage was right. The last 10 years have made us fat, foolish, addicted to prosperity. You think my incautious? You think you're the only sage telling me what must be done? You're impertinent little fuck. I know you have others swallowing the lies. You ink them. Your absent-minded charade doesn't work on me. You poison their minds against me and have the gall to pretend like you're some well-meaning mentor trying to be the kindly champion of the concerned student. Do you think I am blind to the Overlord? Because I do not act with your reactionary zeal does not mean I fail to act at all. We are, of course, taking precautions. A failure to plan is a plan to fail, after all. Now you're just doing it to enrage me. I think I will be alive to record you as the very final provost of the School of Ink and Quill. May Kairos prove me wrong, but this proud school will perish on your tenure. Then we are lucky that several dozen sages are in line to inherit this Scrivering's eye before it falls to you. But you worry too much, my dear Lantry. The way you see the world, we win either way. If Kairos invades, we then we owe you one big "you are right," and won't take that you feel great. And won't that make you feel great? And if Kairos doesn't invade, well, then you and everyone in the tiers wins. The Chronicle will note your hubris. Note if an objective chronicler is doing the right thing, your passion and convictions are a troublesome sign for one trusted to observe all things as they are. Perhaps you are not fit for this role. I apologize for even mentioning this matter. I will take my leave. Always a pleasure, Brother Lantry. Who you? Are you seeing my memories? Because it sure feels like Fatebinder Callio was grabbing my crotch and I could have remembered that. No. Splay your pointer and lazy finger like so. Then do a 2/3 twist. Try to follow along with Lexim's magical gesture. I know you're immune to flattery, but I assure you, you have some sort of natural accent, and I can't replicate it for the life of me. Yes. I'm sure you say that to all the lasses your quill wants to dip. And I'm not some phenom hush. Aren't you the one who says Kairos has some shadowy hunter that kills would-be Archons? Oh, sorry. Shadow hunter that kills would-be Archons. If I'm as special as you insist, you best keep your lecture spout shut. Laugh all you want, but everything I'm hearing leads me to believe Kairos will be here soon. I'd wager that by the year 430, we'll be overrun with disfavored. Well, considering the Princess of Stalwart has all sorts of eyes and ears across Doradas, if you have it on a good authority, it simply must be true. I'm trying to be serious here. When the war starts, field study will get curtailed, and we'll have a fight on our hands we can't survive. I have a few cottages throughout the tiers where we could hide. We could make our way into the mountains, use our magic to hide. You know I can't. I'm taking on 3 new scribes, and if we turn our backs on the school and you're wrong, then where does that leave us? Haunted by all the schools, that's where. But Kairos is inevitable. War is going to happen. Do you want to let it roll down the hill and crush us all, or do you want to do something about it? I want to be here when it happens to chronicle it. I would assume that that is what you want as well. What I want is irrelevant. Well, burn the bridge when we come to it. May it be a long way away. Now, I have some spare sepia, and we have several hours until dinner is served, shall we?
After all that, I think I need a stiff drink to calm the noises. How are you feeling?
Well, was it what you were hoping to experience?
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. I think I just wanted to talk to the Lexime I remembered.
Okay.
And I figured that sublime intoxication might help me come to terms with her scheme to corrupt the truth for the greater good, or some such idealism. But I don't need to understand it fully. I just need to accept it.
So you're going to preserve her modifications to the Chronicle?
Even though a little part of me will die inside, knowing I've allowed deceit to enter my once honest parchment.
How are you so sure you've never written something down incorrectly, or recorded a convincingly told fable?
Every historian grapples with that question. I might pass along bad information without knowing it, but I never intend to immortalize anything but the truth. Or at least, I could say that of myself until recently. Now, I'm guilty of turning a blind eye to Lexime's deceit. I'm disgusted by my actions, and yet, I'd do them all over again. I love Lexime more than I love the Chronicle. That's all there is to it.
So I trust this means you're willing to adjust the Chronicle to speak well of me? I'm sure Lexime will be glad to hear your decision.
Perhaps, but I'd rather she not know. I don't want to encourage and foster this notion, and if I'm being honest, I can't bear to see her so hapless and feeble. Not again. I want to remember her as I just saw her. Before the lies. I'm disgusted by my actions, and yet, I'd do them all over again. I love Lexime more than I love the Chronicle.
So I trust this means you're willing to adjust the Chronicle to speak well of me? I'm joking, of course.
Yes, a bit too soon for that. Well then, enough chatter for now. Let's be on our way.
Anal sects? What the fuck quest name is that? Okay.
Oh, seems like fun. I swear to Kairos, if this is just some differently colored budding rose.
1 second. Let me just add the secret ingredient.
Booze. What the fuck?
Caring too much.
Okay. Barrack still has clothes on. A cold chill up your spine shocks you back to your senses. In a sobering instant, your companions stand around you, splattered in blue and purple berry juice. Among the other things, hastily discarded clothing lay strewn about the scene. As the sobriety grips you all, clothing and gear is slowly, sheepishly gathered up.
Perhaps it's best that we never speak of this again.
I got it.
Wow. Oh boy. Remembering what everyone had. That goes to Lantry, and that goes to Lantry. That goes to Lantry. I think that was on Lantry as well. I think that was it. Verse. Oh, that's mine. You got this. You got that. That. Those. Those were there. I think those were there. So I had, what did I have? Great. Can't remember. Shadow
I'll just hold on to this.
Embrace. This is the opportunist thing. Scavenger mask. Orb of life, right. This was here. Heavy. Right, that's the one thing. That's the other thing. Damage taken while health below 30%, and this thing does recovery. Yeah, it's okay. I think we're good on that. Where are my artifacts? Sure, we'll take that. I think those were the things I had on myself. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Oh boy. That was a mistake. Okay. Why did these things... Why did the order move around? Whatever. Whatever. Battle stance is still there. Weapon set. I'm gonna go with the bow. Weapon set. This and shield. Okay. That's not really the staff I needed. That's the one. That's the one I wanted. This thing has a lot of DPS. Okay. Go back to the spire. I guess. Behind you, the other beasts fan out, cutting off your path of retreat. Attempt to parley. Nope. Beast woman, hunt for your pet human. Let's calm down before things get ugly. There's a place in the New World for the Stone Stalkers, but if they fail to adapt to it, they will be swept from history. Adapt? Beast woman adapt better than human could ever hope. Beast women swim the seas and stalk the stones. Okay.
I am a shield wall unto myself.
Alright, so first things first. You're gonna do that. You're gonna do that if it works. You do that. And we do this. Now we do this. And this. And this. And this. And this. And this.
Too old for this.
And now this.
Are you afraid of death?
And now this again. Okay, we just like cast everything. Ooh, what's that? A bronze axe. Simple.
On it.
Simple and what is this? Let our storm rage until the last blade be broken or the line of regent falls. Line of regent. Okay. I guess I'll do that. Let's see. You've gotten all of these, which is like, okay. Parry and dodge. Repose chance. Accuracy, parry, dodge. Those are good. I don't think there's anything here. I mean, no, there's nothing. All right. Let's talk to Kenrick. Oh boy. Revos is just the guy. With these things. Okay. Okay, he has some scrolls. Oh, here we go. Already know. Don't know that one. So let's take those. And we can sell. No, I'm not selling to you. Wait. I'll leave you as clean as possible. I can sell to you. I'd like to talk. Mind your tongue. Whatever. How'd you end up in the Scarlet Chorus? Blah, blah, blah. Never mind. Let's see what you got in stock. He has all sorts of things that I've also sold to him. Okay. You also got this. Okay. That's literally just junk. Iron pole. That might come in handy. Fine, let's sell to you. That's an artifact. That is not an artifact, so it's going away. That seems interesting. I'm keeping these. That's an artifact. It's not an artifact. Rupture? What the fuck is this? Armor pierced, stolen 1 health, but oh. That is a weird ass weapon. That is a very weird weapon. Iron sabots. Well, I don't need those anyway. I can sell a lot of crap from here. These are just for selling. No, these are useful. can use those. Sorry. These are for selling. Okay. There we go. Inventory. Learn that. Put that there, put that there. Put that there, put that there. Don't know that I need these anymore. I guess I could sell those. That's a verse item. And that's a lantry item. That's a barrack shield. That's a weapon of some sort. Leave target in a stasis. Okay. What do I still need to do? We got to throw the tune on. Voices of Narat. Voices of Narat. Let's rest up. Curious of some things, such as I haven't been here in a long time. Bastard's wound. For instance. Research of the artifact is complete. Hello? Okay, you've got nothing to say. At least these guys are leave now. I hope you made the right call, Fatebinder. Is there something I can do for you? Wait, what? Go away, I have nothing to say to you? Wow. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's go here to the cascade. We'll have the beast woman in charge. They're pissed off with me. Okay. How are things in the wound? Order has returned. Woundkin and human alike listen to Reptile and respect new Prima. There's a war going on topside. I would like the Woundkin on my side. If any outsiders other than me have been through here recently. Nope. What's become of the mystical talents? Human Johnny slips and legs snap until bone pierce meat. Reef talent performs mending right and even Reef talent know how to wrap human. Child is fine so far. Okay. Interesting. Do you mind getting out of my way, you fat beast? Of course that happened. All right, let's go talk to the voices. Okay, Narat, I'm coming, Narat. You sick, sadistic little bastard. Let's see what you got in stored. Fort Squander. I haven't been here. I mean, I've been once, I think. Okay. Cacophony. Let's go. I'm already getting the chills. I'm very curious of what's gonna happen now. Oh, it's so good that tomorrow's Friday. I'm so happy about that. Gonna go straight to you. Still quick save. Hello.
And with the downfall of Graven Ash, the children of the North threw up their hands and cried of their unending sorrow. Ah, it's you! We were drafting our memoirs of the Civil War's end. We'll be sure to mention your contribution in the footnotes. Not that anyone will read them. But you didn't come to discuss history. Kairos' decree looms over our heads and cannot be ignored. Now that you've whetted your appetite on the Archon of War, we hope you're still hungry for a challenge.
Bow to me, you've been a fair ally, and I would prefer not to destroy you.
Oh, your wrath and ambition is just adorable. Really, it is. So too is your stupidity. We have been conquering kingdoms since before your great-grandparents festered in the womb. You will bow to us, child, and you will know your place.
I will not.
The implications of this culling can't have escaped you. Only one Archon may rule the tiers, and you are nothing if not one of us. You understand what must happen next.
We don't have to do this unless you always do whatever Kairos insists.
When the orders involve slaughtering our rivals, then yes. Yes, we do. So young, so naive. The Overlord's demand is a blessing, not a burden. It is an invitation for the strongest to rule the world undivided, undivided, undivided!
Oh man. You don't think that the Archon's mental babble is intentional? He seems more unfocused and distracted than usual. Insufferable upstarts. We will see this one flayed and put on display before our armies. Too dangerous perhaps, but the Fatebinder no longer, and something must be done. After all, can't allow power to go unchecked in these times, especially under the Overlord's scrutiny and pity. In fact, a real pity, because potential should be nurtured, not wasted. All the same, we'll see if we can't salvage something from this mess. Some fringe benefit, something to feed us, bind us, make us whole. It goes on, and you fight to suppress it. Okay.
The Voices has a lot of shit to square. My sister's, for starters. But he's still... well, the Voices. Are you sure you don't want to take a breath and think this through?
Hesitation? This isn't the verse, I know.
We've both been here before, haven't we? I'm right back to the day when my sisters died in front of me, only this time I'm truly afraid. Maybe my idiot brother has something to do with it. The last time this happened, I froze. Now I'm more afraid of what happens if we attack.
Listen to her, Fatebinder. She shows wisdom beyond her years.
The Voices of Nerat is a terrifying, centuries-old mastermind, and neither of us have been around as long as him. That point seems worth emphasizing. I really, really hope you understand that he's going to hurt us.
I know.
It's true. We promise.
If you're up to it, then I'm with you. I've killed my share of gang bosses, and it doesn't take a genius to know when a leader is flagging and needs to be replaced. No offense, Archon.
None taken, wretched girl. We have never been more proud of you than at this moment. You are everything the chorus strives to become.
Couched in its wrath of green flames, the Archon of Secrets, Bronze, head turns to you.
Perhaps not all is lost between us, Fatebinder. Perhaps you would be willing to accept a settlement of our grievances in exchange for the return of our fury.
There is no version of this conversation in which I give you verse.
Sorry, Voices. Looks like I found a new Archon to follow.
Shall we end his miserable existence together, verse?
Sounds like a plan to me, boss. I'll sleep a lot better knowing there's one less parasite in the world.
Our little spy is right about one thing, you know. You're going to die, screaming. But your awareness will live for eternity, suffering within our magnificence.
In Scarlet Chorus tradition, I challenge your rule.
And you think the Horde will follow you that easily? 1,000 howling mobs will rally around a fledgling Archon whose power and deception belies mediocrity? Come to us then. We are Legion, and you cannot stand against us all.
I'll do my best.
Come, gather around and watch us destroy the Fatebinder.
Heads up.
Oh, he's truly just him.
We have company.
Summon personality Fabium. Okay, let's start with healing aura there. You do that. You do that. You do that.
We are just getting started.
Ooh. Okay, you do this. You do this. You can do that. Next on the line is that. Let's try to kill that thing first. Okay, now you start doing these things. Do that.
Have a taste of our nightmares.
Will do.
Okay, let's see what else we got. We got one of those. We got that. We've gotten that, if it works. Doesn't work.
I think my wisdom is finally catching up to my age.
Take me if you can.
He's almost done. Okay, let's do a healing aura.
Consider it done.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna use some of these. Okay. Okay.
Where did all this blood come?
On your knees, worm.
Blast of confusion. Can you do?
Right.
Okay. He's back up.
Approach us, you insignificant little morsel. We would have a word with you.
Okay. Say what you would, creature.
Whatever the thoughtless rabble may whisper about this moment, don't delude yourself into thinking you are powerful, that you matter, or that someone out there isn't greater still. We came from nothing. Our deeds defined us to the people, and the people knew us as a monster. Did you imagine we were always flames, voices, and secrets? Think on that. You archon of misguided decisions.
I could never become like you.
Couldn't you? How much you've changed since this war began. Imagine if you subjected that same pressure to centuries of time. We don't have to wonder, but you do. You have all the time in the world.
Something about this strikes the voices as funny. He begins to laugh. Short bursts develop into violent, uncontrollable spasms of insane joy. The voices lets his hands fall from his robe. The very flames that defined him as a sharpless being whip into a frenzy, consuming him as they burn. You hear a distant, incoherent chorus of screams in the back of your head, but as quickly as it rises, it fades to silence. The Archon of Secrets is extinguished before your eyes.
No! Not like this! We were so close!
Good riddance, asshole. Shouldn't have screwed with me and my sisters.
So much knowledge was in that hive of a creature. If Narat weren't such a wanton monster, I'd almost shed a tear for his passing. Just think of how many tomes his minds could have filled. Though I suppose most of it would have been sketches of torture and fornication.
Is that thing finally dead? I'm actually asking because it was difficult enough to tell that he was alive. Okay.
Will do.
You gained loyalty with the Scarlet Chorus. What do we have here? We have a dagger, critical damage, bleeding, and hit precision. And then we have a, oh boy, Blast of Confusion. What is this a scepter? Oh, it's a one-handed. It is a one-handed. Is this thing more DPS? Yes.
I was built for this.
So let's utilize that. I guess I can't really use this. Yet. Those can go there. Okay. Yeah, this will just give me this. Push back, dazed, and confused duration of affliction scales. Okay.
Right.
Right. Save it. Never thought another could kill the voices. What a terrible, wonderful boss you are, indeed. Okay. So my last thing is to travel to Tunon. Can that really be the end of the game? You could probably still do some side quests if you talk more, I guess. I don't know. Of course, there can always be a plot. Explore, investigate further, investigate further. Oh, ignore them. We've had that before. I don't care for them. I'm not gonna kill them. So let's see what's gonna happen with Tunon. I doubt he's gonna face Tunon's judgment. No more proceedings will be held for nobles today. This court is closed. Hi. It's me. We demand to be heard. This decree is not subject to deliberation.
Fatebinder, thank you for answering my summons. This could very well be the defining hour of the conquest.
The pleasure is mine, Your Honor.
Your manners do you well. All the same, we are here for justice, not pleasantries. I first want to make it clear why we've assembled today. After the collapse of Vendrian's Well and the start of the Civil War, it became clear to me that there must have been some great fault on the part of the Archons. We come together to root out the source of our troubles, and determine which of the Archons has sowed more chaos during the war.
Okay. I can point to the culprit and spare us the discussions. This is the scum who brought down the voices. I hope it isn't your intention to arm yourself before a court of peaceful legal representatives, Commander, unless to offer amusement as Blood and Mark flays you for our delight. Turns to aim what you can only assume is a stern look. He refocuses back onto you with the cold stoicism.
Much has happened since I dispatched you on that mission.
Raven Ash and the voices of Narat, the appointed generals of this war, are both dead. You were instructed with bringing justice to the unlawful, but you have clearly taken the law into your own hands.
I didn't have a choice. The court has no time for your lies. That is, with your approval, mighty Tunon. We were stronger together than you could ever know, and you have taken Ash from us. I won't leave this court until your head is mounted on our standard and presented before the general funerary rites.
The court has a serious problem to address. Your conduct throughout this campaign has come into question, and you will answer for your actions.
And what will I do?
You have made quite a name for yourself, Fatebinder. Stories of your deeds have spread through the tiers, and all of them have reached this court. Some actions have consequences. We will see what your actions have wrought. The chaos you've sown everywhere is unacceptable. You cast yourself so far outside the established order, I cannot begin to catalog your misdeeds. For this, you have been deemed guilty and must be executed.
Am I not allowed to have a trial? Is that not a proper procedure?
The outcome is a foregone conclusion, Fatebinder. Your actions cannot be allowed to stand. But if you wish to make a mockery of this court, I will add it to your list of offenses.
I want to defend my actions.
Very well. If you insist we proceed, then we shall. You are on trial for transgressing on the Overlord's authority, breaking the laws of the Empire, bringing mayhem to an otherwise orderly conquest, and meddling in concerns that fell beyond your station. Our directive to bring Kairos' peace to the tiers has suffered, and you will answer for the part you played.
If you don't mind, Adjudicator, we are on familiar terms with the Fatebinder here. Should any inconsistencies require our input, we will add our voices as testimony.
The court has inquiries into your conduct. I first call your travel companions to speak on your behalf as witnesses to your character or accomplices to your crimes. Who will speak on behalf of the Fatebinder? The Ironclad Commander will step forward, if indeed he has the strength to walk.
You want me to speak, Adjudicator?
I've been treated with fairness and respect. As fine as anything the Legion ever gave me. The Fatebinder trusts my counsel. I've never seen a finer, more upstanding member of the court.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? Scarlet Fury, you who sacrificed your old life for this one, step forward.
Me? As if the likes of me has any business speaking in a grand hall before the Archon. Why, I've murdered enough folk to stack their bodies up to the podium 10 times over. Your Honor, the Fatebinder and I get along like a couple of cats. We scratch here and there, but there's respect to be had. Sometimes I think we agree on too much, but can't fight everyone. I suppose I've had worse bosses, and I suppose I've had better friends. But this one's something special. I've killed for him, and I'll do it again.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
There's Lantry.
Let the aged chronicler step forward.
If it may please the court, I will speak true. I have had the honor and privilege of shadowing the Archon. A dream come true for someone so eager to witness history in the unfolding. I can say, with conviction, I am following greatness.
And if I required, I could produce my travel log to back my claims. I have noted the good with the bad, and I think you'll find the Archon has been a force of order and balance. Exactly what you should want from a Fatebinder.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Evidently not. The time has come for the Fatebinder to offer his testimony. I dispatch you to the Vellum Citadel to deliver Kairos' Edict of Fire to the School of Ink and Quill, a punishment for their archival of forbidden lore and failure to recognize the rightful authority of the Overlord. Yet you hesitated longer than necessary in its insolence, warning the sages and allowing them opportunity to perform a ritual that preserved much of their heritable knowledge. The Fatebinder's action spared more lives than books. Archon, there was little that could be done in the few hours before the edict came to pass, aside from fleeing with a handful of pages and the sandals on one's feet. The overlords intended neither page nor flesh be spared, sage. Enough. There shall be order as the Fatebinder answers this charge. Yeah, the Archon of Secrets claimed he had spies among the sages. He personally requested time for them to escape. I didn't have a deadline for the edict. I honored his request. The request of an Archon could certainly buy a few hours reprieve from an edict if the circumstances warranted it. You showed appropriate judgment in this situation, though I harbored suspicions of the Archon's motives for the entreaty. You have the Silent Archive in your possession, a repository of forbidden lore, the likes of which few in the North have ever comprehended. How do you speak to this clear breach of Kairos' law? I believe it to contain information vital to our investigations. The education of the court alone was insufficient for this task. As a trusted servant of the court, I am the only one responsible enough to handle forbidden lore. You are not exempt from Kairos' law, but your point is taken. If you haven't used knowledge beyond your ken to spread mayhem, then the court is willing to forgive. You entered the old walls, a clear violation of Kairos' law. How do you answer for this perversion of justice? Do you think yourself above the law? Circumstances took me there, Your Honor, not greed. The transgression was necessary to complete my task. The law stood in the path of justice. They were open and available for plunder. No, my only trespass came in pursuit of trespassers, that I might punish their transgression. Does Archon's privilege not grant an Archon the right to administrate their domain as they see fit? Do not my spires rise from the old walls? Do not my senses flow through them? Ooh. An interesting premise, albeit one that assumes a great deal about your stations and the spires. You send the Forgebound Master to the Voices of Narat, where Kairos only knows that awful fate she suffered. She was under my protection. The Archon of Secrets demanded it. How was I supposed to earn his trust if not indulging his hunger? I actually didn't mean to do that. A fine question, Fatebinder. In whose trust do you place greater importance, mine or that of an Archon of Secrets? Because mine has been challenged to no end by your poor judgment. You are my vassal. You should have kept your priorities firmly in mind.
I have one final question, Fatebinder. You were brought to this campaign to adjudicate the disagreements between the two armies. After your arrival, matters quickly escalated into a civil war. Did you knowingly join the conquest of the Tears to sow discord in your wake, or were you merely a victim of circumstance?
I recognized the Archon's corruption from the start. It was only a matter of time before they turned on each other, and I was prepared for that eventuality. No, I joined the conquest for the glory of Kairos, but I am less certain that the Archons did for the same reason. You credit me with starting a civil war? Adjudicator. I'm flattered. No, I joined the conquest for the glory of Kairos, but I'm less certain the Archons did the same.
It's possible, even likely, that the Archons traveled south with their own agendas. I make no secret of the fact that the more worthy of the two would have inherited the Tears to rule as their domain under Kairos, and ambition got the better of them both. They were expected to conduct themselves in a professional manner, as were you.
Conduct aside, the fact that the Archon's corruption is an assumed fact speaks to the success of this Faithbinder's mission. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find that mildly encouraging.
I am finished with my line of questioning. Have you any closing remarks for the court?
Though I have ever strived to bring peace and order to this shattered region, I recognize that our work is an uphill battle, and well worth the struggle. The years have shown me that war and conflict can change the face of the tears, and the hammer that pounds ore into a workable shape. Kairos' peace is a lie. The Overlord holds dominion because we are ignorant to alternatives. The better Overlord stands before you, ready to define justice as he sees fit. Well, it's an uphill battle. Well worth the struggle.
The way you frame it, the conquest sounds like a matter of true personal investment. Most curious. After weighing the charges, this court finds you...
Guilty!
Innocent.
What?
Against all reason or expectation, I find you innocent. Your testimony was sufficient to justify your deeds, your self-appointed authority, and your undermining of Kairos' law. I can hardly believe it myself.
Tunon raises a trembling hand to his mask. Adjudicator, are you unwell? Leave him. I want to see how this plays out.
Archon, your presentation in the court today has shaken many of my core beliefs. Things I held sacred under Kairos' law are now uncertain.
Oh, okay.
I once thought that Kairos was the sole overlord. The notion of rising to her echelon of power and influence wasn't a concept that existed for me. For anyone.
Okay.
You have proven her wrong. What's more, you understand justice and law better than she ever did. Better than even.
You?
I am willing to accept you as my new sovereign, if you'll have me.
Wow. I accept. Together we will rewrite law and lay the groundwork for a new empire.
My gavel and my justice are yours. I will execute your laws as you draft them, show mercy as you see fit, and bring to ruin all who would reject you.
Okay, so he pledged to me. Oh, this should be interesting. Blood and mark seeps from the shadows. He glides forward, palming two black-bladed daggers as his eyes dart between you and Tunon.
Adjudicator, kid.
He greets the both of you with a curt nod before starting his claim.
Allow this blade to cut to the point. I have an objection, or two.
Really? You have to do this now? He smiles pleasantly, teeth gleaming in the darkness.
Look, it's not like I have a grudge against you. I just can't let you live on Kairos' orders. I'm sure you understand.
I can tell you've been waiting for this, and she told you this personally, didn't she?
Kairos has given me free reign of action to protect the Overlord's interests. The semantics are of little concern to her, though I admit they will greatly affect you.
It would appear the court headsman is determined to make his stand. Under normal circumstances, I would curb this behavior with a swift execution. However, we have long since abandoned normalcy. There will be a trial by combat then. Bledenmark's claim against your own. Justice will win out, and the will of the true Overlord will be evident for the living to witness. You may begin when ready, Archon.
You don't have to do this. Neither of us has to die here. Without further word of warning, the Archon of Shadow dissipates into darkness. The light in the room flicker and dim as he surges forward in attack.
Your trial begins anew, Archon. Prepare to defend your title, your innocence, and your very life.
Great. I actually didn't want to kill him.
Another battle. I'm starting to think we're bad at making friends.
Okay, let's see. Let's start by doing those, doing that. You do that, you do that.
Hurts when I hit.
Okay, Lantry.
Doing something every day.
Okay, you did that. Let's put the aura on you. Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Let's utilize this. Okay, you're good. You still have this,
To keep twisting.
and then this.
The trick is to keep twisting until you hear the snap.
That's how it's fucking done!
Nice one, kid.
Done. Easy peasy. Golden, glowering eyes, wide with surprise, the Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that below and ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grinds.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me. This brightness is blinding.
Master, if you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in the lawful manner.
Is he gonna betray me? I'm gonna get that. Also gonna get another point here. Yes, and if we go in our inventories now, let's see. We can do that. We had another lantry can.
Finally, I get to
Utilize
use something
that.
older than me.
Why did you have a sword? I don't know. Okay. Oh. The first wants to talk to us. Fatebinder, I never thought that anyone could get the jump on the voices of Narat. He almost outlasted most of his enemies and ate the others. He was this great bottomless thing. I just assumed he would be around forever. And now he's dead. It's hard to believe. Really, I'm happy, but he also gave me this life, this name. I hated him, but he was incredible. An artist. What I'm trying to say is that I'm impressed. You've exceeded my low expectations. Do you think the voice is really dead? If we're being honest with each other, I have my doubts. The voices could scheme 1,000 steps ahead of anyone. I can only imagine that he had something planned for his death, some contingency. If I could be so complex that we might never recognize if we saw it. It might not even happen in our lifetimes, if we're lucky. But that very well could be true. Oops. Well, we're here. Are we gonna fight, or are you really gonna be on my side?
Archon, change has come to the Tears, and in time it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach.
Yes.
The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tears.
Yes.
You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the Tears, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos. Go and represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tears require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule. Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
Cool.
I am grateful to stand in your loyal service, Archon, but there is a shadow over these proceedings. Though you have proven yourself greater than the other Archons, Kairos is not satisfied. She sends a legion of expert soldiers marching on the Tears as we speak, their war songs calling for your death.
But I have unified the Tears in Kairos' name. I do not wish war with the Overlord. What would you recommend?
Power begets power. A demonstration aimed at Kairos herself would give her a reason to regroup and consider her options. It would have to be a display of incredible proportions.
Edict? No, the Northern Empire?
Yes, destruction on that scale might serve your purpose. The North will tremble under your forceful hand. Return to the mountain spire and see your will given shape and consequence. Show Kairos the face of true power.
Quest Final Judgment. This should be interesting.
Will do.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Before we do that, I didn't loot my friend over there, over here, over there, over here. Surely this has to be something good. That was a mistake. Wow. No weapon. Issue an edict about the Northern Kingdom. Well, I mean, I'm gonna save it. Well, let's see what's gonna happen. Turn to your companion. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? Any requests?
How could you ask such a thing? I can't possibly make such a far-reaching decision. I'm sorry you have more options than you have convictions.
Can you turn everyone inside out or make them piss rings? Damn it, I can't decide. You figure it out. Affirm your loyalty to... No. This probably amounts to declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? So this is it. We've come a long way since Edging Ruins. I never before this I was nothing important. Once call it Chorus Killer among thousands. But we're really doing something here. Thanks for letting me tag along. This makes me uneasy. I wonder if we'll ever truly be ready to face the Overlord. Kairos is a power that likes of which we can't imagine. This is new territory for us all. You're the first to strike a blow directly at the Overlord. Make sure it counts. Hope you don't mind if I stand back and take notes. By all means, continue. If I don't show Kairos my ability to cast the edict, is more than one-time thing, the attacks will never stop. This will be an opening strike. Perhaps the tears will conquer the Northern Empire. Yeah, let's do the first one. If I don't show Kairos my ability to cast edicts more than once, okay, the attacks will never stop. That would be a repose for the ages. If it were up to me, we'd debate the matter until Kairos forces were upon us. You had better hurry. The Spire awaits your command. Oh. I don't have any other edicts, so... I'll do the fire again. I'll watch everything burn. I should have probably tried some edicts before that. I mean, researched some? Oh, whatever. I'm really curious what will happen.
The Tears have been conquered, unified at last under a single banner. Your edict brings devastation and ruin to the Northern Empire. Some believe the edict to be Kairos' work. Others hope or fear that this edict comes from a new voice. Kairos' forces withdraw from their march upon the Tears, as they are sent into disarray by your edict. United under the Scarlet Banner, the Tearsmen are reborn as your loyal servants, bound to you by fear and shared victory. The Overlord's conquest of the known world has come to a halt, and the whisper of a challenger to Kairos' power slowly spreads throughout the land.
Nice. Your Edict of Fire ignites an unstoppable conflagration in the northern capital, reducing buildings to cinders and sending walls of fire through populated streets. Before anyone knew what was happening, the flames had already burned out of control. All who suffer cry out in agony and confusion that Kairos would allow such a fate to befall the city. As chaos ensued in the Northern Kingdom, the armies marching to the Tears received an unprecedented order. The armies were to fall back to the capital and ensure the safety of its people from the edicts. For the first time in Kairos' great conquest, the armies retreated. Soon questions would be asked in a hushed breath across the lands about what new and terrible power had emerged that could force the land of the Overlord. You fulfilled Kairos' decree, and all the Tears is now ruled by a single Archon. Your former rivals have... Hey there, Cam. Your former rivals have either submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war to a close. Made it to the end. GG, legendary Nib. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if this is the end, but it kind of feels like it. In their pride, the disfavored never imagined themselves beaten, especially when their opponents appear so disorganized. The last remnants of the Legion disperse, their general destroyed, their honor broken beyond mending. The scorn that follows their humble ranks haunted them even in the depths of the obscurity. The Scarlet Chorus, true to form, were quick to change allegiances once the voices of Narat died. They pledged their devotion to you, hoping to gain your favor. In the months following your victory, emissaries of the surviving gang bosses present offerings and totems of fealty, but without a devoted taskmaster to keep them in line, their flimsy power structure collapses, reducing the Scarlet Chorus to a whisper of its former strength. Under your guidance, those who resisted the conquest and sowed discontent are vanquished, their rebellion brought to a decisive end, any lingering question of who is the true ruler of the Tears is answered by your impact on the reconstructed nation. Word of your success spreads beyond the Tears as well. Even the most distant corner of the Empire whispers that the Fatebinder who rose to become an Archon, and an Archon whose intervention shattered the conquest, making way for a new future in the devastated nation. While you manage to unite the Tears under a single banner through conquest, losing the support of the Overlord's armies makes the work of maintaining this order all the more difficult. Loyalties weaken and slip, but you make a point of taking a personal hand in the country's new governance. After time and struggling, the Tearsmen begin to see themselves as citizens of a unified land. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, the Earth's settlements around the Stone Sea, ushering a new age of verdant growth and prosperity, the country may never resemble the glorious realm of Asia, but with new life, many new things become possible. The memory of Cairn as a great force of destruction remains as a monument of inert rock. Most agree that the world is better off without the Archon of Stone, as people of Asia begin to slowly reclaim the land that was once torn asunder by his power. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, you ensure that humans will once again populate the former realm of Asia. The Stonestalkers tribe is gradually pushed out of their new territory, and those who don't resist are enslaved, put to work rebuilding new human settlements. The death of Radix is a huge blow to the disfavored. Without the support of the Mage Guild, the Legion finds itself outclassed for the first time and suffers on the battlefield. The Edict of Storm never stops its relentless assault on the ruins of mighty stalwart. Sentinel Stand Keep falls further into disrepair, the wind wall separating it from any would-be conquerors. The fate of those inside the fortress still remain a mystery. You played the Censor's game and emerged victorious, retrieving the silent archive from the Valium Citadel. When asked to turn it over, you decided it was better off in your possession. Instead, you sent the Censor to Cacophony as a gift to the Voices of Narat. By taking the silent archive from its pedestal and disrupting the preservation spell holding the Valium Citadel in stasis, you caused the collapse of the single largest repository of knowledge in Taradas. The world may never know true extent of the loss. The sages are all but wiped from the Tears. What remains of their hoarded knowledge is vulnerable, is likely to be misused as destroyed. The damage done to the intellectual core of the region is likely beyond reversal. Though small groups of would-be scholars gain influence from time to time, the setback is ultimately too vast to overcome. The Scarlet Chorus rules Lethian's Crossing with signature cruelty. They perform regular midnight raids against homes or businesses, making examples of the locals and keeping dissenters in check. Locked doors and shuttered windows become the new standard of life as the citizens grow into their new sense of fear and paranoia. By returning the Magebane helm to Lethian's Crossing, you ensured the Bane would not be able to get into the city. For the time being, the threat of a Bane incursion is dispelled. The settlers are grateful to go about their lives underburdened by this peril, though knowing how close they came to annihilation haunts them. They hope that the security you provided endures. Sending the Forge-bound masters to the Voices of the Narat strikes heavy a blow to the Forge-bound, and the very art of ironsmithing suffers terrible setbacks. It takes many years to recover or relearn the delicate subtlety of crafting fine weapons and arms. The Forgebound continues to create weapons, but their quality is suspect. Oh boy. Your watchful eye gives Reef Talon the confidence and the authority, however remote. She needs to lead the wound. Though she never finds a permanent solution to the problem with the water, she helps the others keep up with the community's demands. Under the Beast Woman's constant vigilance, the bastard's wound thrives. By enacting an edict on Vendrian's well, you announce your power to the world and showed Kairos' forces that you were capable of. When you defeated their leader and scattered the army before you, it sent the message to Kairos. A new Archon is born. While the edict dissipated, its effects will always be felt as the first true threat to Kairos' rule. The death of Graven Ash means the end of the disfavored without the comfort and support of the great general. What remains of the Legion sinks into hopelessness. The Archon's seat is left vacant, and whether or not it can be occupied again is a heated topic. Far from his place of final rest, the Northern Empire mourns its fallen son. Killing the voices of Nerat spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, the occasion is marked by all who suffer under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags you. Though you witness his death, you can't help but wonder if the voices of Nerat is done with you. Tunon the Adjudicator continues to dispense justice from his seat in the Bastard City. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or the patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the tiers would be nigh impossible. The death of Bled and Mark deprived the world of a most capable murderer. One less bedtime story to scare children is no significant loss, though you can't help but glance at the dark corners of every room and feel as if something is watching you. Bled and Mark will always cast a long shadow on your life. Though freed of his twisted shell of bronze and iron, Barrick seems a little less morose. He moves forward from the Edict of Storms only haltingly, attention half turned ahead towards an uncertain future and half behind at the choices that brought him here. The Northerner remains dedicated to the oaths he has sworn you, drilling your forces and commanding them on the field. If he isn't exactly loved by your troops, he at least holds their respect. In the rare times of calm, he takes leaves of absence from your service, scouring the blade grave for the fallen sons and daughters of the Northern Empire, and then laying them to proper rest. Though the somber task seems one beyond the meager lifespan allotted a soldier, Barracks returns from each of these executions standing just a bit more upright. In the absence of the voices of Nerat and the need to avenge her fallen sisters, Verse discovers something akin to contentment. For a time, you find her high atop your spire, face turned towards the horizon with eyes closed against the wind that ruffled the feathers in her hair. It doesn't last. Verse disappears from your service without a farewell. When she returns months later, she is trailed by a disparate gang of young women recruited from every corner of the tiers, farmers, merchants, and former noble hungry for greatness, all pledged to study the bloody lessons Verse has to impart. Her new callous sisterhood grows slowly compared to the chorus, but each member makes of violence a mesmerizing dance. Soon Verse and her cadre become the most feared of your enforcers, achieving a notoriety almost akin to that of Blood and Marks. As surely as you're liberated Lantry from the depravities of the Scarlet Chorus, you unshackled him from the weight of history. No longer fixated on the preservation of the work of the sages, the scribe instead sets himself to record the present with renewed vigor, becoming your most persistent biographer, even if some describe his work as more propaganda than history. Lantry increasingly turns the scavenging lesser pages of the chronicles for writing material, making of the sages' histories palimpsests of your rising glory and your inevitable confrontations with the Overlord. If Lantry's scrutiny sometimes discomforts you, his predictions for the future, deduce with the experienced eye of a student of history, rob you of more than one night's sleep. Ebb remains in your company, where she seeks out promising recruits among your supporters. After recognizing some obvious talent, she takes on a team of apprentices in a new school of would-be tidecasters. Though she often jokes that the school is bound to fail with her at the helm, her students think otherwise, as do the many dozens of hopeful who come begging for her tutelage. With no desire to remain in the company of humans, Killing Shadow returns to the wilderness and seeks out her own kind. She discovers a haggard community of beastmen who abandon the realms of Haven and Azure only to be enslaved by Kairos' forces. Out of this rabble of defectors, she forges a tribe, their nomadic ways respecting no established border or law. They raid villages and caravans when possible, glutting on the spoils and boasting of their severed ties with the human world. Though a large bounty follows in the tribe's wake, no human can survive the hunt for its leader. Sirin, grown quiet over time, speaking little of foregoing her songs as she distances herself from your military. One day she simply walks out of camp and makes for the wilderness of the Tears. Rumors reach your ears that Siren has occupied an abandoned mountainside temple, her vow of silence drawing a small group of respectful followers. You leave her in peace. Though you once professed loyalty to Kairos, popular belief holds that the world cannot support two overlords, and you now represent a threat to the established order. This leaves your future in question, with but one certainty. When Kairos retaliates, you will be ready. From your perch atop the ancient spire, you can see hints of the Northern Empire just beyond the mountains. At your command, horns shout a triumphant cry across the valley, heralding the end of one long campaign and the beginning of another. Perfect. While the credits roll, we're gonna do some quick little short thoughts on the game. What's the top speed? I guess there's a lot. You guys can read a little bit. So, game is, I would say, on a smaller side. We still took, like, I don't know how many episodes in I'm in, I guess about 20 days to roughly about 3 hours, between 3 to 4 hours. I've done most of the things that I think I could have done. Granted, I could have probably went in on side quests with the other how should I say? What happens if I continue? First, my companions. There were still a couple of companions that I might have had the opportunity to do some quests for, so that could have prolonged the story a little bit more. I feel like I've talked to almost everyone, or at least 90% of the lore that there was given to me, given the options that I took. The game has a lot of replayability, given the fact that it does well what it does regarding the whole decision making, right? So from the get-go, you can go guns blazing against everyone, side with one side or the other. That leads to different outcomes and a whole lot of other things that spider throughout the course of the game. The game had like a difficulty spike at the beginning, which was a little bit meh until you start understanding a little bit more of the game, and once you start like having a decent weapon and a little bit of armor, and like I said, more understanding of the game, the fights were not as challenging anymore. So it quickly became one of those things where you go from one thing to another, read the lore if you want to, or just, you know, do certain things and get quests and side quests and then go and plunder and kill and stuff like that. I tried to go as peaceful as I could in certain things, other to a point where everyone like pissed me off, and I was like, in my defense, I'm not gonna die, so I'll choose the lesser evil kind of route, I guess. I don't know. What happens if I continue? I'm really curious. Can you continue the game afterwards? This is like the final thing I want to see. Or does it continue from my last save? Yeah, okay. So you could theoretically still do some side content if you wish. Don't know exactly what more you can do. But that's about it. So yeah, final thoughts on the game. Like I said, it's a smaller game. It's decently fleshed out, I would say. Character progression and development is more limited than in other games, I would say. And difficulty is also a big thing. Do not play this on the hardest difficulty. I did end up lowering the difficulty and starting over after watching a small YouTube guide on understanding the game a little bit better. So that's definitely a thing. If you're going on a normal difficulty or whatever, you can pretty much figure the game out by yourself and do like whatever build you want. Like I said, replayability definitely, if you like it. It is a sore throat for people that want to stream this kind of game, or when you have to read out loud each and every little tidbit. That is definitely very hard on the throat. Very little voice acting, like only like your companions, and not everything they say is voiced, only some of the things. Which one you prefer, Tyranny or Solasta, as both are kind of budget games. Solasta definitely. It has a more, for my preference, it has a better overall package in the way you make your group and party and members. I feel like you're more invested into their development, and the combat felt solid as well. You also had more input I would say, in the combat in that game than this one. And in this one, you can, like, you don't really think about it too much, or it's also not a turn base. It is a real time with pause, so that's also a different kind of thing. I'm really gonna have to jump in another kind of game on this, but on a huger, grander scale, and feel the differences. But other than that, I enjoyed my time with it. I think the length is okay for what it is. Definitely a cool game, especially if you find it like on sale, or it was free in Epic or whatever. It's probably gonna be free in certain circumstances, so it's a no-brainer. Grab it, and if you like these kind of games, it's definitely worth having a spot in your collection. Anyways, that is actually it for me. Wow, this has actually ended up on the dot with everything. It is Thursday. Tomorrow we have our little show. It is exactly the time I need to stop. I didn't have to end like on a stupid cliffhanger and tomorrow be like, okay, let's do 10 more minutes and we're done. Cool. I am really glad. Everything turned out okay. Anyways, the usual adios. Thank you all for watching and bearing with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys again tomorrow. I don't know exactly what we'll have in stored, but go play some more games. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night, Cam. And yeah, I'll see you all again tomorrow. I'm gonna go relax and drink a tea before going to bed, because my throat is dead. Anyways, bye bye.